Hello, Klaus here, and welcome back to yet another video. I just did a little product shot and it looked just like this. And in this video I will share with you two tips, a lightning tip and a pretty cool editing trick as well in DaVinci Resolve. So without further ado, let's just go right to the lightning tip and then to DaVinci Resolve. So a trick about making lights look great on, for instance, bottles and reflective surfaces is a second layer of diffusion. So here I have a softbox and there is a diffusion in here and also have a grid to control the lights. However, if we add in a second layer of diffusion, we are going to diffuse our bottle or our subject even more. So I'm just going to roll this down. And the trick is, of course, that it's nice to have the second layer of diffusion, but the real story here is that you have to use the right diffusion. And this diffusion is the Lee 260. It's a very common use diffusion. I see a lot of videos where people are talking about diffusion, but never what they're using. But the Lee 216 is a great diffusion. And I'll actually show you the bottle right here. So I'm just going to roll this up right here. Like that. And now we can see at the bottle, and I'm just going to slowly roll the Lee 216 paper down so you can see the difference. So this is diffusing the hard shadows, and it's also making a great line on the side of the bottle, which is so much more nice to look at. Remember, the Lee 216 diffusion, a great diffuser. It's a bit pricey. However, you can get them in sheets, which are way smaller, and then you could clamp those onto the lights. But I just prefer to have a roll of diffusion. I can put on a C-stand and then just pull it down and up and stuff like that. So that was the trick with the light. It's a very useful trick. I use this all the time. This is the best diffusion paper ever. So keep that in mind. So let's go to DaVinci Resolve and I'll show you a editing trick you can do. See you inside of DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so here we are in DaVinci Resolve and I'm going to show you a little tip. We're going to use this clip right here, which is just a image with no movement, but I want to add in movements and I also want to blur out the background because even though it is a little blurred out, I couldn't blur it more out because of the set I was using. It wasn't that big and the bottle was kind of tall, so I'm going to do that in post. And of course, we'll need to have our clip graded. I'm going to select the clip and I'm going to push Alt and I'm just going to drag up with my mouse here so I have a duplicate of the clip. Then for the bottom clip, I can take the top clip and I'm just going to right click on my mouse and I'm going to go to clip color and I'm going to change the color to, let's say, beige. Doesn't really matter what you do. It's just to make things a little bit easier when we jump into the color page. So in the color page, I have my beige here, which is the top layer. So first thing to do would be to actually mask out our bottle. And you can do that by using the mask and then the curves tool right here. And that's what you're going to do if you do not have the studio version. If you have the studio version, there's a way faster way of doing that, and that is using the magic mask. And if we use the object instead of the person, it's going to be really, really good. And for this, we can go into the quality and put this to better because we want it to be better. And we are simply just going to make a line on our object. And, I can go and click this icon here so I can see what it's selected. It's pretty good selection. So let's drag it. And we're going to drag our object forward and back by using this icon right here. And now DaVinci Resolve will do its thing. It'll take a little while depending on your resolution and how many frames, of course. Okay, so now we're done with the tracking and I can take off my overlay here, so now it's back to normal, but this is the bottle masked out from our clip. And we can do a couple of things actually since we've done this. If we want to, for instance, give the bottle a little bit more color, we can just go into the saturation and bump that up just a little bit, like that, so it's a little more tasty looking. Okay, so for achieving the background blur, we are simply going to go into the clip right here, which is the bottom clip, and I'll go over here and I'm going to change the blur here, and this is this icon right here, and I'm just going to go into the radius and I'm going to push this up, and nothing is happening. Why is that? That is because we simply need to go back to our top clip and go over here to the grid, right click and add an alpha out. And now we're going to put the alpha out to this blue dot here, and now we can clearly see what we are doing with the blur. So we can blur it out big time, or we can just make it a little more subtle. But I think like something like not too much, because that's a little too overkill for me. Something like that. And then we'll just go back here to our edit page. And, I'll just make the bottom clip a little longer, because now we have the clip here out of focus, which is kind of cool. But I also want to make the zoom effect, and the easiest way of doing that, we'll go to effects. We'll go into our effects here, and then we'll take a new adjustment clip, and we're going to put the adjustment clip on top of our two clips, like so. And the main reason for doing that is if we wanted to do a zoom, we would have to do it on both clips, and it's just faster to do it on an adjustment clip. So selecting the adjustment clip, going to the inspector, and I'm just going to push this keyframe icon up here. So I'm going to put keyframes on all of them, because it's just faster that way. And then I'll go to the end of our clip here, and I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit, move it a little bit up and a little to the side, something like that. So here we have the clip moving in, and then of course our product is going out of focus, and to fake that a little bit, I'm just going to give it a little bit of fade out here by dragging. So it's going to fade out and everything will be out of focus. And this is pretty helpful if you want to have a logo or something like that on the screen. So now we have this effect done with a super simple way in DaVinci Resolve, and it can absolutely enhance your product videos. So I do hope you found this video useful. If you want to learn more about filmmaking tips and tricks, DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that, we have a homepage. You can check that out, link down in the description. There's free resources for filmmakers and content creators, so check that out, or keep watching my videos here on YouTube. Anyway, I do hope you found the video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out, and if you want to be notified every time there's a new video on this channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner. Until next time, keep filming, keep learning, and keep sharing.